right, we're gonna get started tonight for Magic Mat. Tonight you're gonna need 2 yoga blocks or something similar. You could use a couple of blankets or maybe a little bit more of a solid pillow. At one point, we're gonna put it underneath our head and between our knees. And then we're gonna start here with rolling out the feet. So let's go ahead and grab some small balls. You can use a tennis ball. You can use these little yoga balls. And we're just going to put that down on the ground. We're just gonna massage each foot, just maybe 2 minutes at the most. We'll see how it goes, but let's go ahead and place that ball right in the center of the foot, but a little bit north. So right underneath where your toe joints are. And then you're gonna curl your toes over, and then you're gonna lift your foot up and take the toes back. And then you're gonna press down again and lift back up. You're gonna keep your heel on the ground, and you're just thinking about, oh, how can you stretch that foot over? And then how can you stretch it back? That's what we're doing here. So we're aiming for 5. So I have 1 more to go here. So I'm pressing and then coming back up. Now we're gonna take that ball in the center of the foot. Oh, no, we're not. We're gonna keep it right there. And we're gonna go right along the ball of the foot. So we're gonna take the ball to the outside of the foot by using our ankle to move it, cross it over, and then reach the foot over to the side. So we're making this movement with our foot and our ankle, so the heel's still down, and we're just massaging right underneath the ball of that foot all the way across, big toe joint to little toe joint. So we're gonna go about 5 times back and forth. Then we're gonna take it right in the middle of the foot, and you can lift your foot completely up. I realize my magic circles in there. And we're gonna do little circles. So you're just gonna circle right in the middle of the foot, a little bit below where you just were. And then you're gonna circle 5 times the other way. Sometimes the ball starts to move and we have to move ourselves. Then we're gonna go straight up and down the foot, right in the middle, back and forth, back and forth. And you can do as little or as much pressure as you want to here. You might have to move your ball back a little like me. Now we're gonna go to big toe. So right on the inside of the foot there. Sometimes it gets a little weird. Go back and forth, and then we're gonna go to the outside. And this one I do a little bit slower, just because of the shape of the foot and everything. So you're gonna go up and back, and if you lose your ball, that's fine, just go grab it. And then we're gonna come down to right in front of the heel, right in front of the heel. You're gonna put the ball of your foot down, you're gonna press your toes in, and from this position, you're just gonna push the heel down into the ball, and then you're gonna lift it up. So the ball of the foot stays down, and you're just lifting and lowering that heel right in the middle. 2 more. All right, and then we're gonna go to that other foot. So we get to stand and see how that feels. I know whenever I do that, I kind of feel it up into my leg, which is really nice. So remember, we're gonna start where we're gonna take that ball in the middle of the foot and go just a little bit north, so we're right underneath the ball of the foot where the toe joints are. And we're gonna be curling those toes over, trying to widen our foot over that ball. And then we're gonna pull the toes back, but try and keep connection to the ball. And then curl the toes over, and then reach them up. Remember, your heel is pressing into the floor. You can have your hands wherever you need to be. If this is kind of weird, you can always put your hand against the wall. We're gonna aim in for 5 here, and really think about that stretch over, and then that reach back up, which is kind of hard. It's almost like you have to push into the ball of your foot to maybe make those toes wanna go backward. And then last one, curl it over, and then reach it up. Now we get to do some of that movement in our ankle joint. So our foot's like this, and we're gonna roll the ball to the inside And then we're gonna roll the ball to the outside. So the foot just gets to move like a little teeter-totter, seesaw. Can't remember what it is anymore. But yeah, just kind of gets to go back and forth right across the ball of that foot. And then we're gonna try and do it more with our ankle if we can than our knee, but you can see my legs moving too. Because, you know, whenever we're walking and we end up tripping, this movement with our ankle that we have, we're not usually ready for it. And that's how sometimes we can be like, oh, I hurt my ankle. So this just helps us get a little bit of movement. You're stretching those tendons and all that good stuff there. Okay, now we get to go into the middle of the foot, and then we're just gonna roll that ball, tiny little circles, a little bit lower where you were. So you're gonna go one way, 5 times, and then you're gonna go the other way. So you're just kind of prepping the foot for the up and down movement. Now you're gonna be right in the middle of the foot, and you're gonna take that foot front and back and just roll right down the center of the foot. 5 times. Then let's go to the inside. So maybe you need to do a little bit of that medial rotation there with the ankle. And then you're just gonna roll. Then you're gonna come back to the center. And then you're gonna try and hold your ball there. And then you're gonna try and go right down that pinky side of the foot. This is the one where you usually end up pressing a little too hard and it's right across the room. That's okay. All right. Ooh, one more. Okay, now we're gonna put the ball right at the base of the heel. So a little bit on the inside, right at the base. We're gonna put the ball of our foot down, our toes are down. And from here, we're just gonna press into that ball and lift up. So this is what it looks like from the side here. So I'm gonna really get some weight, and then I'm gonna press my heel down, and then I'm gonna lift it up. So my hips and everything stay nice and steady. From here up, I'm just doing my thing, just holding tight, and then I'm letting my leg and my foot do the work here. Press it in and lift it up. Let's do 2 more. I can feel that in my quad. We can count this as a squat because we can feel it. All right, so here we go. We have felt our feet and we're ready for our standing work. So go ahead, grab that magic circle. Now we feel all ready in those legs. Let's go to a wide Pilates V. We're gonna hold that magic circle with the fingers pointing. We're just gonna do a forward fold. So let's bring the arms up, and then you don't have to worry about articulation. I just want you to stand in those feet and take yourself forward. See how far down you can go, then pull yourself back up or reach up to the sky. And then forward fold, go down, and then come back up. We're gonna do 4, but you can do them a little bit slower if you want to. And we're gonna think about standing in your feet, which means I want you to stand in your heel and the ball of your foot, and see if you can get your pinky toe and your big toe down, and we're gonna reach back up. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit of side bending. So you can bring this magic circle wherever is comfortable on your shoulders to do this work. And then from here, we're just going to really reach through that opposite leg as we bring ourselves over to our side and then lift back up. And then reach over to the other side, press the opposite leg down and come back up. Let's do 2 more each side. Reaching, we can inhale into it if we want. And exhale to go up. Or you can alternate that breath. Last one each side. Up and take it over. And reach back up. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of extension. So I'm going to do it this way. You can keep that wide foot position, or you can go into a parallel position. You're going to reach the circle out. And then from here, you're going to start reaching up. And when you feel like your shoulders are going to kind of come out a little bit, that's when you're just going to start your back bend. Little back bend. And then bring yourself back to that natural tall spine. And then you're just going to back bend. It's like the opposite of your upper hip curl. And down. And one more. Reach it back. Ribs stay down. And then we come back center. Let's do our rotations. We're gonna do some fun rotation stuff later, which is why we have the bricks. Feet can be nice and wide. Go ahead and have those fingers out to the side here. Keep your hips still, please. And go ahead and rotate to the side. So as I come, I'm going to my left. I'm pressing my left hip forward toward my right shoulder. And we'll play a little bit with the hips in a second. So as I go to my right hip is going toward my left shoulder. We're going to do 2 more on each side. So reach. Oh, nice rotation all the way through our torso here. So our hips get to stay still. That way we can rotate as much as possible from right here all the way up our spine. Come back. Feels really good. We'll get us warmed up for everything else we're doing. And back. Now let's go ahead and play a little bit with rotation in the hips. So I'm going to let you just sort of take it all the way. So you just get to go ahead and rotate the whole thing, including the hips, so you can reach. And then you get to come back to center. Then you get to rotate and reach. Keep your feet seated to the ground, like really stomp those feet in. And then come back. And then reach. Last one this way. And then reach to the other side. Really get a little bit of extra stretch in those legs then. Okay, let's go ahead and do that arm work that we love so much standing. Again, nice and wide will give you some nice support. You can bend your knees a little bit here. As you're standing here, maybe think about being a little bit in a more natural position with the spine, which is just however you like to stand. Instead of maybe doing a tuck or maybe a point away. So just kind of find yourself right in the middle where you're not overly tucking and arching, just so you feel comfortable there. Okay, and a little bend in the knees is nice and comfortable on our low back while we do the arm work. Straight out to the front here. Okay, so I'm going to bend my knees just a little bit. We're going to do 8 presses. So you're just going to press straight out in front of you. And you can breathe however you want to breathe. Just remember to do it. 2 more. Good. Straight up. And then you're going to do your 8 presses there. Look nice and forward. 2 more. So we bring it down. And as we come down, I just need to pull my shoulders back. So we're holding it here. We're still in that nice neutral position. So we have a lot of looseness in our hips here. And we're going to press. Sometimes this arm work is hard because we are holding tension in other places in our body. So that's why we roll out our feet. And that's why we have a little slight knee bend. And we're just trying to relax the body and the hips. And that was probably 12. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take it to the side. So wherever you can put the heel of your hand on the padding here. And then your other hands you can have on your hip. You can reach it up. You can have it down by your side, but you're just going to do little presses in. And you're thinking about the muscles on your back, how your arm connects to the shoulder, the back, the chest, and see if you can kind of get all of that while you're pressing. 1 more. But let's go ahead and go to the other side. Place the circle on the hip and then the heel of the hand. You can do a little bit of a knee bend here if you need to. And then play with your position. Maybe you have your hand behind your head and you're really working, opening up that chest. Sometimes I feel it a lot when I take my arm up either this way or a little bit out to the side like a diagonal. It's nice work. We can breathe wide that way. And that's probably 12 too. Okay, now we're going to do our leg work. So if you need to go next to a wall so that you have something to hold on to, go ahead and go for it. Now that I've switched rooms, I don't have one. I do have the bar over there. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to place the magic circle right above the ankles. And our feet are going to be in parallel, which means our toes are pointing straight away from us. Okay. Woo, let's see how this goes. We're going to bring our leg up. And our first movement is just taking the leg and pressing it towards the other leg in a nice straight line. And we're doing 8. Okay. Then we pause, and if you need to set yourself back, and if you moved your circle at all and you think it's going to get lost when we move it, you can go ahead and fix it here. Then you're going to come up Then you're gonna bring the circle to the front, and then you're gonna press your leg back. So the circle for me is a little bit on the back side of my leg, not quite over my heel, come center and down, but enough that I have a little extra leg to press in at that angle. Now we're gonna do our last one, and I'm gonna fix my magic circle for this. We're gonna be nice and tall. We're gonna come up straight and take that circle to the back. And we're gonna be pressing a diagonal forward. So we do that straight line, then we do a diagonal press back, and then we do this diagonal press forward. Woo! Oh man, I should be doing this more often. This is some balance work. Then come forward and take it down. Now we're gonna do our other side. So 8 presses each. You need to fix the magic circle. If you're like me, you put lotion on right before this, you might need to. All right, we get to come back up. And then we're doing that straight press. So there's 8. Arm positions can vary. Hands behind the head harder, arms reaching. Ooh, a little bit extra balance work there. And then we come down. Now we're gonna go take the circle to the front so that we can do a diagonal towards the back. That's what we're doing. So we come up, we bring that leg in front of us, we reach up super tall, and then press towards us. So being nice and tall in the legs and having length between the hips and your bottom right there, that's what gets us here. Then we come center. I'm gonna fix my circle. And then we're gonna go to the back. So we'll come up, we'll come to the back, and then we're gonna press that at a forward angle. Go ahead, come up, take that circle back, and press it on in. And you can play with your arms wherever you want to. I'm just trying to stay upright. Woo, nice and upright. You can always put a toe down. Woo. All right, come on center. And let's take it down to the floor now. Oh, we didn't do our standing footwork. Oh goodness, have to do our standing footwork. Okay. Standing footwork, let's put those heels together. Take that circle out, and you can play with your presses. So there's 4 steps to it, or 4 pieces to it. You can press, release, or do the opposite, or you can press for 2 movements and release for 2 movements, or you can just say like, I'm good just holding this circle as it is, that's fine. So heels are together, and we're gonna start lifting the heels first. Ooh, see where we are on the balls of our feet. Heels stay together, we bend the knees, then we bring the heels down and straighten the legs. So we're doing 5. Lift, bend, heels come down, and then we straighten the legs. 3 more. Lift, bend, heels down, reach. So if I was coming up, I could press, and then I could release here. Ooh, and then I could press to bring the heels down, and then I could release to come forward. Or I could lift and press, keep pressing, and then release as the heels come down and come up. I feel like that was 5. We're gonna call it 5. Now let's go the opposite way, which is not completely the opposite, but still fun. We bend the knees first. So you go down, your heels should be really, really solid together so that you can lift them and straighten and keep them touching, and then bring them down. So we bend the knees, we lift the heels, we reach up, and we press down. Go down, lift up, bring the body up, and come down. 2 more. Bend, lift heels, straighten, come down. Bend, lift, straighten, and come down. Woo! Okay, now we get to come down to the floor for real, and we're gonna do our 100. So for 100, been thinking about this. Okay, we're gonna put that circle right around the legs there. And I want you to be about hip width, and I want you to be pressing out into that circle, okay? Take your arms up, do a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, come up, continue to press out, and then start your pumps. Inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. We're gonna work our booty and our legs by pressing out into that circle. Press those feet into the mat as well, and reach your waistband back into the back. Inhaling for 5 And exhale. Really reach out into that circle. Waistband goes to the mat. Nice upright curl. This is a nice one. If you need to put your head down because you're focusing on this booty here, then that's totally fine too. And why are we talking about our booties? Because someday we're going to lift our legs up from the floor and we need to use our booties in order to be able to lift those legs. Last breath. And then bring it on down. Super good. Come on up. And let's go ahead and go straight into our half roll back. So we're going to keep this here. And you can put your hands here if you want to. But I'm going to bring my feet into a little bit of a flex and press those heels in. I'm going to reach my hands here, but here's good too. We're going to do a half roll back. You're going to press out into that circle, and then you're going to exhale and come up. So press back, curl back, press back, and then come back up. 2 more like that. And if you're feeling hamstring and booty because of just doing the 100 like that, I feel it too. I do. Woo. Okay, now we're gonna go all the way back. Keep reaching out into that circle. Come on down. Ooh, yeah, take that nice break, but get yourself connected. As your arms come up, I want you to think when your arms come here, connect them to your back, start lifting your head, and then you come up from your upper ab curl. So you reach through an upper ab curl and come all the way up, and then you come back down. Bringing your arms back into that upper ab curl. Arms come up, we bring it. Let's do that upper ab curl, push through it, exhale, push the feet down, press out on that magic circle, and we got 1 more here. Actually, we're just gonna stay down. Huh. Lucky, right? Okay, we're gonna do a little stretching, So standing leg can be straight or it can be bent. And let's go ahead and just bring that leg towards us. Feel your waistband in the mat so that you can feel this nice long stretch in the back of the leg and back of the body here. And let's go ahead and take that circle out to the side and look the opposite direction. Hold it here for a breath. See if you can just hold it here. A lot of work. And then bring it back center. Switch hands. Take your other hand down to the floor and reach across. And this might be where you want your leg to be long, your other leg, but I'm okay with it here. And then bring it back to center. Let's switch legs. So for this one, I'll go ahead and have this one long or longer. Okay, I'm feeling it today. So sometimes if you're not feeling it, you just need to bend a little bit, that's okay. All right, so I'm just gonna reach the waistband back into the mat. We're gonna pull the leg towards us. Nice big inhale and exhale. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Relax the body. Then take that leg out to the side. Take it out with your center here. Look the opposite way. Hold here for a breath. So this leg right here, if it's long, it needs to reach and you need to press that heel in. Then bring it back to center. Go ahead and switch hands. Take the other hand down to the floor. Look toward that hand and take this leg across and feel that stretch. Breathe here. And then pull that leg back to center. Really good. Let's come up however you want to. Maybe into a teaser or something. Okay, let's go ahead and do our rolling back. I'm gonna keep this right here. We kind of have a theme going on today, an unintentional theme. We got 5 minutes left and I want to do a really cool stretch at the end. So let's bring those legs up, and if you just want to do little mini rocks, you can do that. Just remember to push out into that magic circle, come back and come forward, and you have to continue to press in order to keep that magic circle from flying out or popping out. And let's do 2 more. Really good connection with that magic circle. You're really pressing it away. Oh, my feet hit the lava. And then come up and come on back. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of ab series, just 2. Let's do magic circle behind the head. Let's get some neck space here. Let's reach one leg out, pull the other one in, and switch. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 3 more. Last one. Bring the legs in, take them down for a second. Reach the magic circle up, and then reach it up overhead, and try and see if you can keep your bottom rib down on the mat. And then take your hands wherever that is. So you feel where your bottom ribs need to be. Come to an upper rib curl, place the magic circle right behind you, and this is your place for your double leg stretch. So you're gonna reach the legs out and then pull it back in. You're gonna keep your ribs on the mat. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, ribs stay on the mat, exhale in. 2 more, and last one. Pull it back in. Go ahead and bring those legs down. And we're gonna do a little spine stretch, and then we're gonna do a little rotation exercise. Take your legs nice and wide on your mat, or even wider. Mine are definitely about 5 inches wider than the mat. Place your magic circle right in front of you, and feel yourself nice and naturally tall. Flex the feet, press the heels in. Have enough room that when you press down, you don't feel like you're pulling away as much. So if you can move the magic circle in and then move it around a little after, that's fine. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, start to curl your body forward and press into that magic circle. I'm gonna allow my arms to bend here. And I'm gonna inhale to step back up. Exhale down. Pull the waistband back as much as you possibly can. Reach it back. And stack yourself up as you inhale as much as possible. Then exhale. Take it down. Then inhale. And stack it up. Last one. Exhale. Press the magic circle down. Take the waistband back toward the back wall. And then reach yourself up. Nice and tall. Go ahead and grab those yoga blocks that I talked about, or pillows, blanket, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna lay sideways. Nice and cozy here. You're gonna put a brick right in between the knees. And you're gonna bring your arm down just like this. And it's not nap time. It's not nap time. Okay? Go ahead and place your magic circle right here. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is just some little presses. So I want you to feel, your shoulder away from your ear. And sometimes it's a little telling for us that maybe when we lay down, our arm just sort of wants to come up. Like, this is how I sleep. So I like this exercise if you're a side sleeper and you tend to be in that fetal position. Take your shoulder away from your ear, and let's just do 8 presses here. So you're pressing and you're actively thinking about keeping your shoulder away from your ear. I think, like, I've done a good job counting, but let's do 2 more. Okay, and then reach up. Now I want you to take, so you're gonna press the legs together. Keep your hips stacked right now, and I want you to lift up. And if you need to move your block back a little bit, go ahead. So you're gonna lift up and you're gonna do a little rotation, and you're gonna let your head follow your arms. So your hip is still stacked, and then you're gonna bring yourself back. So it's a little lying rotation. Really great if it's hard to do like a spine twist or saw. This is a really good variation that you can play with at home. Just lift the arms and reach up and twist, and you're trying to keep your hips stacked nice and tall, and then come back. Okay, we're gonna do that all on the other side. So bring it on over, and then don't worry, we're gonna always get to end with mermaid. So that's what we're gonna do. So you're gonna get cozy. Get cozy. My legs here, I really like them at a sort of almost parallel this way, and then almost like perpendicular to my leg here. So it's like it's an L when I'm this way. So we're coming up and coming this way. So go ahead, bring yourself down. And if it seems too low, then add a little something extra here. So I could almost go here and be even a little bit more comfortable in my shoulder. So I should have said that on the other side. So if you're feeling like your neck, you're feeling something in your neck, because it's kind of at an angle, go ahead and grab an extra block or maybe turn your block a little bit and that can help. And actually, I'll just go ahead and show it this way too. Okay, take that magic circle right out in front of your shoulders. And so your magic circle probably you shouldn't be able to look through it. It should be a little bit down. So think about how it's like more, you're looking through at the chest here. Okay, because then we know it's right in between our shoulders. Then this top shoulder, we're reaching it away from the ear, and then we're pressing down, and we're doing 8 presses. And as you do this, practice that leg connection here with this block. Squeeze that block, because you're going to need that when we do our rotation work. And last 2. So I feel like we did 10 on the other side, even though I said 8. Okay, now you might need to move your block back just a little tiny bit, because as you turn, your head's going to want to move, and you want to have something to support you when you turn and rotate. Okay, so we have our hips stacked, they stay stacked. We're going to lift up, and we're going to allow our head to follow the arms, and we're going to rotate here. So we're rotating, rotating, rotating. This top hip is pressing forward, and then very slow with control, we bring it back. And then again, you bring it back up here, you're like, oops, reset, and we're going to try that again. We're going to reach and let the head follow, press in to the yoga block there, and then come on down, and remember where your arms need to land. One more, okay? This hip gets to press forward. You are squeezing the bejesus out of this little yoga block here, pillow, whatever you have. And then you're taking the arms up, press into those legs. We're not doing side legs. It's like a substitute for side legs. And then we come back down, nice and slow as we do our little untwist. Let's go ahead and come up, and we're going to end with our mermaid. It's a little long class. Woo, that's okay. We have to do our side bending work. Take that magic circle out to the side, stack your legs or wherever you need to be comfortable. We're just going to do 2 on each side. You can always do some extra, but I need to do them. Bring this arm up. You're going to press into that magic circle, reach this opposite leg away as the arm comes up, and then you stack back up. One more like that. Reach it. And press back up. Swap the legs and swap sides. So the leg that I have on top, this is my favorite way to do it, is whatever way I'm going is the leg that would pop up. That way in my head, I have something to think about, that I need to press this away as I go up and over. So this is my top leg. So bring that arm up, press into that magic circle, and then come on over, and then reach back up. Last one, inhale, and exhale to reach back up. Thank you, magical people. I'm so excited. I felt like this was really fun, and we needed a few things that were just a little extra flowy, rotating, because it's been a rainy day today on this Thursday. So hopefully you're feeling